All right.
Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the Irish Fantasy Punts. We're here to review another great weekend of fantasy football. We had a few wins, 2 losses this week in our own league, so it's a mixed bag this week, I think.
You can have a guess who lost.
It was a bad bye week for me, to be fair. I was missing the bones of 40 to 50 points.
Well, Dan decided to fucking jinx me our Sunday evening, so yeah.
I saw that. I started laughing straight away, man.
For a bit of background, Jamie was like, I think he scored 110 points in the early window. So I was kind of like, oh, Jamie, surely you're going to win this week.
No.
He did not.
No, because then Christian McCaffrey started to play, and Brees Hall decided to play, and Tyreek Hill decided to play, and yeah. and they're playing Cooper, you know, he's at home.
Oh, I know, man. Hey, look, it can't work every week, but 99% of the time, just not
Any
with
live
you.
bets going out at the minute?
No, I mean I was playing against Cooper. He did get good points.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Well, I have to play it this week, so with me playing you this week, I'm expecting a win, so I'll definitely lose.
Yeah, I expected a win too, and I lost.
You're Jamie's one win this season.
I tell you, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I still kicked your ass.
Yeah, but my team was decent back then. So that's before all the injuries hit me, and I got absolutely fucked over.
Week 2, when you were full of optimism that the season could be good and you could regain your title.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is going to be okay. You know, the first 2 weeks I got like 120 and 150 points something, and it just went off a cliff.
Absolutely nosedived.
Yeah, I think I've actually.
Any questions you have, put them into the YouTube comments during the show, and we'll answer them as we're going. We'll do a fantasy review of the week, and then we'll spin back nicely and look at a dynasty trade of the week that we have, and then we will go forward and preview next week's fantasy matchups. Any early shouts for a good game to watch next week?
I haven't even looked at the fixtures for next week.
I actually don't know. Yeah.
How much prep we put in?
Week 7.
Well, let's talk about last.
Green Bay, Washington. Green Bay, Washington. Are they still going to plummet? Is it going to be the death of Aaron Rodgers?
And they surely have to win that one. Surely.
What do you reckon of Sauce Gardner?
Oh, talent, isn't he?
Deadly.
He is talented.
Absolutely deadly, yeah.
I was more talking about the cheesehead stuff.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Everyone likes to laugh when people celebrate on the star at AT&T. Well, now ye cheesehead bastards know how it feels, huh?
Very disrespectful.
No. What did you what do you think of Robbie Anderson just storming off the pitch? But he didn't storm; he got sent.
He got sent off.
They told him, I'd say that you're getting traded, bud. Get out of here.
It looked like he was just chatting shit to one of the coaches, and he's like, "Oh, fuck off, go away." He was like, "What? Pack your bags, go on to the Cardinals."
They still got a 5th and a 6th out of it.
Is that what they got? I didn't see what they got.
Yeah, they got a 5th and 6th round pick.
And it's not like the Cardinals. It's not like the Cardinals are struggling there. Like Dortch has been good. Rondell Moore came back, played good. Marquise Brown, yeah, okay, he's gone for a few weeks, but D Hop is back next week. It's like, oh no, we just picked up Robbie Anderson. Just see what happens. Like,
yeah, maybe an offensive lineman so you could actually pass down the field might be a better use of the trade capital, or even better, just fire your head coach and get someone who can actually have a scheme.
I'm actually looking at the fixtures for next week, and they are like, we say, look, there's always this kind of a week of the year where we say it's a guaranteed money winner week. If there was ever a guaranteed money winner week with the way the season is going so far, it's next week, right? Bar the Cardinals in New Orleans because they're both shite. But you've Baltimore against yeah, it's shite. You've Baltimore against Cleveland, right? And Cleveland are away, so we know they're losing. So Baltimore to win. Tampa Bay are playing Christian McCaffrey. Atlanta somehow are 50% record. How, we don't know, but they're playing Joey B and the Bengals, so they're losing.
I'm gonna have
Dallas
to
yeah.
We're gonna
go. Yeah, I'm not going through them all, but just look at the actual records. Like, it's insane. Like, you've 4.
Yeah, but you said that last week, and 5 or 6 of the favorites lost. So
nah, dude. This week is just.
Boy, you've done it. You're a true hero.
We use the soundboard to move the segments.
Shut up, Shane. We're moving on.
Oh, quarterback studs of the week. Who do we have, eh? No, in front of me. Josh Allen only had 30 points this week anyway. So what a loser.
The quiet week for Allen there.
What do we like?
Marcus Mariota up there.
Yeah,
top 4. What the fuck?
It's getting really weird with the quarterbacks because, like, I had Trevor Lawrence this week. He had 25 points. And you kind of just think to yourself, like, at what point do we, like, you need a big advantage of your quarterback. So Josh Allen has been, I had to play Josh Allen. That's the background to this. Josh Allen was a massive advantage every week to whoever has him. But I kind of got away with it this week because he only got 30. And then, Trevor Lawrence got me the differential of 25 there. But having the Josh Allen or having the Patrick Mahomes is just such, like, a positional advantage every week now. You're going to have to factor that into drafts next year, I think.
Oh, totally, yeah. Like, having Josh Allen there is just incredible. That's like having a top running back. You win a lot of games with Josh Allen, the quarterback, whatever's going to happen. Like,
yeah, he's just. It's kind of already working itself, though, isn't it? Like, the only way it's going to change is if Josh Allen slides from the second round into the first round, and he's a first round pick now. Like, is that a position you take? I know it's not a position I take a quarterback.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
I get what you mean. He could easily slip into the first round now. People might actually pay that for it.
Easily. I'd say easily you'll have people paying that for him next year. In any redraft situation, there's going to be someone at the back of the first round taking Josh Allen.
Well, you can see with the points he's getting. Like, if you took him in the first round this year, like, you'd be like, I'm happy enough. He got 37, 37, 27, 24 is his worst, 43, 31. Like, like, you get that kind of return your first round pick. Mine's in the reserve. Yeah,
yeah,
so
like
Burrow had a bigger week than him as well, but, like, even still, you'd still be Josh Allen, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Like, if you had the last pick in the draft, snake format, would you take him with your back-to-back picks? Like, would you pick up Josh Allen if he does become a first-round pick and slip to you at the back of the first, and you'd back-to-back picks? Would you take him
on that farm? I think you would, yeah.
I think I would too. With just how good the scoring is, I think I would.
See, I probably wouldn't, but I get the, like, I think just the way I play fantasy football, it'd make my skin crawl to take a quarterback that early, but I can 100% see why people would do it.
Like I don't like picking a quarterback before the 5th round. Like the 5th round is
Yeah.
kind of about as early as I will go. Now, if there's a guy I really want and I don't see the quality anywhere else and I can see quarterback slipping off the board, I might bite the 4th, but I don't ever think a quarterback should be rated any higher than the 4th. Like, I don't think people should be going for him. I think you can build out your team way better if you wait on a quarterback, because there's guys there who will get you the points. Sadly, this year, guys like Kyler and Dak and even Lamar. Well, Lamar has been really good actually, but like guys like Kyler and Dak, I suppose, who are usually those 4th round suspects, they're not there to perform. Well, Dak's not there to perform. Kyler's just suffering inept coaching.
Running backs, Deion Jackson ran in and took all those Jonathan Taylor points that we've been waiting for and really exploded. Good job, Jamie, on that pick.
Look at that. See, we do get good fancy advice here sometimes.
Hey, it's easy to make that pick and make that pick up in fantasy when you're the number 1 waiver wire.
No, I picked him up on Sunday morning.
I thought you got him waiver last week, no?
No, I picked him up on Sunday morning.
Ah, smart boy.
I got the notification about Taylor being out there, and straight in, it's like, right, bang, there's a running back. Took him in.
Ramondre Stevenson joined first, and then Christian McCaffrey and Austin Eckler. Kenyon Drake making a surprise appearance in at 5, and Leonard Fournette and Breece Hall rounding out 6 and 7. Oh, and then Kenny Walker. I got to give a mention to Kenny Walker. He had a big day as well. But a lot of familiar names in the running back top 10 this week. Like it's kind of swung back a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like you kind of expect Eckler to be there. McCaffrey's always going to be there. Fournette, Hall was brilliant, absolutely unreal. Walker was just fantastic. He looks an absolute steal at this point. He looks like a man who's going to be a Christian McCaffrey type-esque player in years to come. He looks sensational. Like, I don't think you're going anywhere. Kenyon Drake now, to be honest. I think that's
he's just taking on the Dobbins touches that we all want.
He's definitely going to be a top waiver target this week. But I wouldn't. That's even me who needs a running back. I wouldn't even bother going near that. Like,
see, that's the what's the thing with him, like, because Dobbins wasn't injured, like, so are we going to see a 50-50 share with Kenyon Drake and Dobbins just to get Dobbins back up and healthy? Like, what's happening there? Like, because that was real out of the blue this week, wasn't it?
They said Dobbins felt a pull, so they just took him out of the game. So he was kind of injured. So that's the only reason he got all his touches. So if Dobbins is out, Drake is a kind of a start, I suppose, but I still don't think you really want to go there.
Yeah, it's not one I think I go for myself, but I think you're right. I think he'll be first off the waiver board this week for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I will not be in that line.
Watch out tomorrow morning. Jamie's picked him up.
Wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase bossed it in the Super Bowl, in the Superdome. The narrative of Ja'Marr Chase and Joe Burrow going back to where LSU won the national championship was absolutely shoved down your throat on every broadcast, but they still both played well. Stephon Diggs, Brandon Ayuk, that's Shane's boy. He was back in with a big day. Tyreek Hill had a big day. It was a bit weird, though. Chase Claypool with Mitch Trubisky back in targeting, and then Jamie, your best friend Michael Pittman, came back from the dead.
He's back, baby. He is back.
What time you're playing this week? And absolutely burn you.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Tight ends.
That was 19 points without even a touchdown, like, you know. So
that's big, but it was a weird. That Colts Jaguar game was weird. I don't know how Matt Ryan did so well without really doing well.
Yeah.
Tight ends. Mike Gesicki had a big day as well. Mark Andrews, he kind of standardly has a big day, and then Travis Kelce, of course. Hunter Henry had a bit of a resurgence under Zappy. Zap. But Mac Jones is probably back, is he?
Zappy has played outstanding for them since he's come in. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, I know they drafted Mac Jones in the first round last year, and yeah, most likely he is going to go back in, but it would be the most Belichick thing ever to do, just to be like, nah, you were shite before you got injured. We're sticking with the kid who's playing really well. He's playing outstanding. Like everyone's talking about how good Cooper Rush is playing, right? It's been all over everything because Dak is back and whatever, like because of who Dak is, I suppose, more than anything. But nobody's really copped on to how good Zappy's been. He's been playing lights out, like.
I think the narrative is swung in the media that way this week. All right, that there's this whispers of a quarterback battle there, which I actually think might not be a bad thing because like Mac Jones isn't great for fantasy football.
No.
No.
Zappy is giving us Hunter Henry. He's given us wide receivers that we can rely on from New England. We don't get that.
Yeah.
Annoyingly, in Dynasty, I traded Travis Etienne for. I traded Travis Etienne and Thornton, the rookie from the Patriots, for Leonard Fournette and Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm in win now mode, so like this is my year. I have to go for it this year. And annoyingly, he asked for Thornton in the deal, and I kind of went, "Oh, yeah, whatever. Thornton's a second-round pick that doesn't really seem like the New England passing game is going to be anything this year." The weekend I trade, and the asshole went off for 2 touchdowns. He hadn't done anything. I was just like, this is just a nightmare. But thankfully, Juju had a big game then to kind of ease me, But still, I was worried.
Yeah, Juju went off for a bit, all right, didn't he?
It is, yeah.
I was just looking at the tight end names there in the heroes. It's not the tight end was a very good week for tight end. Like they were all quite consistent, and we might want to highlight this Dulcich lad for Denver. Like rookie this year, he got 3 targets. He got the touchdown as well. He might not be a bad little add to the back of your bench if you're weak at tight end. A rookie, they're not normally good for tight ends, but you never really know how these things work in the NFL sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. And what's your man's name for the Giant Bellinger for the Giants?
Bellinger,
Seems to be a favorite target there as well. He's definitely a guy that you could, if you're looking for a tight end, they'd be picking up.
Tight
Yeah,
ends
but for the moment with the receivers out in New York, I'd say it's not a bad pickup. But when they come back, I don't know, is the production still going to be there? But for right now, for the next couple of weeks, maybe, yeah.
The thing about it is, though, Kadarius Toney will never actually be fit.
It didn't matter when he was fit. They were playing him anyway. He needs to get out of New York, man. He's too good to be there.
We'll move on to the zeros and see what's going on.
You're about as useful as a cock-flavored lollipop.
Kadarius Toney. The myth that is Kadarius Toney.
Just before we go on, 2 kickers of the week this week: Ryan Suckup and Will Lutz. Yep.
Yes. Thanks, man.
No matters, Jamie. No matters.
I was just about to say it, but thanks.
So we may as well start with the guys' quarterbacks. These aren't really complete failures, but they definitely didn't help you. Kyler Murray I think he's killing people this year, really. It was nasty.
Yeah, he's stabbing in the throat, and he's really, really making the pay. Yeah, it's just fucking, it's horrific at this point. It really is hard to watch. Like he's no protection.
Touchdowns.
You know when you have your quarterback in fantasy and you just kind of half become a fan of that team because you're like, I really want them to do well. But I kind of get your pain now, Dan, watching the Cardinals. It's just so fucking annoying. I don't know what to do with Murray. Like you have to keep him. Like I'm just kind of hoping now Hopkins back that he's gonna suddenly, become good.
No, it won't make a difference, Jamie, because like it's Kingsbury and there's no scheme, there's no real plan. It's all over. It's childish. We're getting to the point now with Kyler Murray. Is he a cut? If you're in a redraft, like honestly, like if you can get Kyler Murray or Trevor Lawrence at the minute, who's getting you more points every week? Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fact. Can't argue with the facts there, but like, I don't know, Kyler Murray, man. Like, he got one coaching change season later. Like this time next year, he could be looking good. Oh yeah, Kyler. Sure, yeah, sure, he's only after topping the QB charts again for the 6th straight week.
Yeah, but if you're in a redraft and Kyler Murray's killing you at quarterback every week, is he even worth the bench spot?
But he is still the QB6 in the year, so it's not
Yeah.
like he's playing horrifically bad, but he's still getting average fantasy points at times. Like now, it was horrific this week, but he has had 1 or 2 games this year where it's been like 24, 25, that
Yeah,
kind of
I
level,
have it-
and
I
then
have it
it
in front
just
of me.
shoots to like
24, 27, 12, 25, 18, 12.
yeah.
So
it's
there has been decent games there. You are right.
it's that inconsistency that kills you. Like if he hits 27, I probably win this week. You know, like it's that inconsistency that is just kind of killing you and killing the hope in you.
Yeah. just punching you over and over and over again.
It's like, please do something.
Oh, we'll move on to the running backs then and see who let you down here a bit.
Oh, I have
AJ
one.
Dillon.
I have 2.
Well, shout out your names there first, the ones that give you personal hurt.
Oh, Aaron Jones and Melvin Gordon. 2 of them. They put Gordon out of the game in the first quarter for some odd reason. They just didn't decide to put him back in
Really?
because
Is
sure,
it-
why not? Like,
He's on Jamie's team. We may as
Yeah.
well.
sure, why not? Like, yeah, he gave an interview afterwards and he was pissed. He was really angry about it. And I don't know what to do with the Green Bay running backs at this point. They're just poor on offense. You know,
That O line needs to be revamped. Rodgers could not stay clean in that pocket for very long.
no.
Like he struggled. Was it 2 fumbles this week or 3?
I don't know. It's been 2 or
Like
3
it-
in there,
He cost me on fumbles this week. Like that's what killed me on points with Rodgers this week, same as anyone else who started him. Like it was the pocket just didn't stay clean for him. And when they tried to run the ball, the line couldn't get a push. It was it was just disgraceful to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you just have to like I put AJ Dillon on my bench anyway. I assume the Aaron Jones owners are going to be following suit now as well. Was there any other particular, like James Robinson was a letdown? Go on.
Kareem
Finn.
Hunt. Kareem
I think
Hunt.
Hunt kind of gets a little bit of a pass because he's the backup. Even Nick Chubb had a
No.
bad day as well, though.
No. No, he doesn't get a pass, right? Because week 1, 21 points. Week 2, 8.5 points. Week 3, 7, 4, 7, 5, 13. Week 6, my bye week. James Conner's out injured. Henry's on the bye week. Who I need him to play. 1.2 points. That is the absolute worst thing that can happen to you on a bye week. He was so bad. And I've had this man for about 3 years now on my teams. And he's never done that.
Yeah, it wasn't amazing, it has to be said.
Like, usually he comes up in the passing game. He didn't have a single target. He ran it 4 times for 12 yards. He sucked.
Yeah. It's I think the New England defense is much more intense than we were led to believe. I think we will
Yeah,
avoid
yeah.
those games.
Is he
Yes, I
saying
think
how?
so.
That'll move us. We'll move on to our wide receiver
Well,
flops.
one honorary mention, and that's the Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who we all
Yeah.
fucking told you about. He's
I
fucking
just had him
back.
up.
He is
Come back,
back.
Clyde.
Oh, can it come up? No.
Who?
Oh,
Oh,
That's what you're trying to say there.
oh,
yeah.
Is it showing
No
up?
one's going to see that.
No.
No one's gonna be able to see that.
I literally had the stats up in front of me, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I was like, we are mentioning this bastard.
We can move on now, Dan, but we just had to mention him.
Was there any other personal hurts for you then at the wide receiver position?
You know there was. I had 66 points this week because of stupid injuries and stupid fucking buys. I hate when I have too many players on the same bye week. MVS, I took the gamble with MVS and I took the gamble with Isaiah McKenzie. Bills Chiefs game, high score, figured surely they'll catch a few balls. MVS had a touchdown scrubbed off of the first fucking minute. So that was that gone. Didn't catch another ball for the rest of the game. Big goose egg, 0 for the day. Then Isaiah McKenzie gets targeted about 8 times. I think he catches 1 ball for 19 yards or something. It's absolutely chronic.
You didn't go well then, is what you're saying.
No. Really bad.
The Bills Chiefs game was a little bit disappointing the whole way through.
It really was, wasn't it? It never really got going.
The defense has played too well. That was the
Yeah.
problem.
I don't like defenses. Stop it.
No, I
We
wanted
should
like
mention
a
Allen Robinson actually. He kind of came back.
yeah,
No,
maybe.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's
I
probably
think
not.
Cooper Cup let people down based off of like, what you're used to getting with Cooper Cup.
Yeah, but like everyone has to have a down week at some point. Like Cooper Cup wasn't going to score 20 points every week. Like that's not what they
Still
do
had-
with the wide receiver.
Still had 80 yards, and we're talking about a down week.
Yeah, like what 13 and a half points, 12 and a half points. Like that's fairly good, like.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not like he completely sucked it up or anything. Like
Skoranek to me seems like a guy that I would pick up to have on my bench for bye weeks and stuff to bring in. Like he seems like a fairly favorite target of Stafford, and they look like they're really trying to scheme him into things now as well. Like he had a good week this week as well.
Yeah.
you know who we can talk about in the absolute flops here? Garrett Wilson.
Yes.
Fuck Zach Wilson.
Yes.
He's ruining everything for everyone.
We have a
Go on.
question in the chat there as well, Dan. Or Jamie, whichever one of the two you want to get it.
Oh yeah, I can do it. Yeah.
He says,
keep
as
forgetting
he's
this.
leaning back in the chair. Would you trade McLaurin, Brian Robinson, and the Cowboys DST for Tom Brady and the Buffalo DST? Is this super flex? Because otherwise it makes no sense. Even then,
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
Yeah.
I would not do this.
No, I don't think so.
No,
No, I think you want Brian Robinson.
Currently
Let
3 and
me-
3. Just lost Hollywood Brown. Trade offer is CMC, Mike Williams, and Taysom Hill for Josh Jacobs, Jamar Chase, and Garrett Wilson.
Oh, I don't think so.
That's super difficult.
Are we talking? This has to be redrafters because there's no way that someone has given up
Yeah.
them for dynasty. Like nobody's giving you Chase and Wilson in a dynasty. Surely.
We're going to assume that. We're going to assume redraft. But even in redraft, it's so difficult because, like, all right, Garrett Wilson. I'm actually putting Garrett Wilson down as a cut, so I don't even care about him in this trade. Like, even on my own roster this week, I'm looking at cutting him if I need to.
Yeah, but
Just about-
Taysom Hill then is so hit and miss as well. Like
Yeah,
it's pot luck whether you're getting Taysom Hill in or not. Like for the way they're playing him, so it's CMC and Mike Williams versus Josh Jacobs and Chase. Like
Yeah, I think I'm on the side of CMC there. I don't think you're trading him away.
I think sell high
Very-
right now.
Yeah,
Josh Jacobs more than high is the issue. Like you're getting Josh Jacobs back. Is that another? I think I lean Josh Jacobs, Jamar Chase, because I just don't think Mike Williams can take the top off like Jamar Chase can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chase is the one
Chase.
selling it for me at the minute.
It is redraft, and the other wide receivers are Kirk, Burks, and A-Rob. Oh, those wide receivers are great, though. I want the Jamar Chase side of my wide receivers with that.
Yeah,
Could
I think
you- could
yeah.
Do you think after Alan Robinson's week, could you sell high on Robinson instead of Mike Williams?
Probably could. Yeah, I guess somebody should take him.
You could try, but like Mike Williams probably has the. I have Robinson in a league, and I'd still be waiting for another week before I. But you might not be able to sell him if he has another bad week. You might not be able to sell him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm going to go the Chase side. I want the Chase side. What do you two want?
Yeah, I'd take Chase side.
I think with the wide receivers he has, yeah, I think you take the Chase side.
Cool. Any more questions? Keep throwing in the chat, guys.
Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe.
There you go. That's all the words we needed.
Yeah. No, you got it right this time.
I know, yeah.
Is there any more receivers we want to mention in the flops? I don't think there was anyone else who hurt anyone too badly. DJ Moore, but are you really expecting anything from DJ Moore anymore?
No.
Yeah,
not a whole.
We're all in the same boat there. Tight ends flops is always take your pick.
The Will Disley dream is over, guys. It's over.
That was never started, I don't think, really.
Oh, it was great.
Do we Taysom Hill in the flops this week? So he didn't score 40 points.
He still had 4 something, 4.5. So
Yeah, like that.
yeah.
That's still pretty good for tight ends.
I now have him.
It was nice to see the big names kind of coming back a bit, like Pitts and Kittle. At least they weren't in the flop section again. Where's Darren Waller? Is he injured now? I don't have him anywhere, so he's just disappeared off the face of the earth to me.
Right. Dan, the Little League Doolin just put in the fact that he has another offer for CMC there. Right, so they're his running backs.
To do CMC for Jonathan Taylor. Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh,
JT and Gabe Davis. Ooh.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think I would rather take JT. The fact that he's, I think he has to come good, and Gabe Davis is playing lights out at the minute in a Bills offense that's playing absolutely brilliantly. So I take a little bit less points out of Gabe over Chase, and JT I think has way more upside than CMC. CMC could get injured next week and not play again.
Jamar Chase isn't in this. This is CMC for Jonathan Taylor and Gabe Davis.
That's what I said, Jay. I'm not on about Chase. I'm saying I take Gabe Davis over Chase at the minute.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't.
No, I mean, if I'm getting JT with Gabe Davis, I'm taking the Gabe Davis one over Jamar Chase. I think Gabe Davis is playing at a level right now that's high enough. Not as high as Chase, obviously, but it's high enough to value him well in that trade.
Jamar Chase in this because it's confusing. I don't want to think about Jamar Chase in this. I want to think CMC for Jonathan Taylor and Gabe Davis are doing.
But you have to take that into account because he has 2 trades on the table. Both of them involve CMC. So we can't turn around and tell him to take the last one and then look at this one and say, oh, no, I would take this one too. He's not going to have the player to do it. So between the 2 trades, which trade would you rather?
I do this one. I do the second one. You take the other one with Jamar.
Yeah, I take the other one. I wouldn't even go with CMC for the 2 lads. Like Davis is very touchdown dependent. And it's been happening the last 2 or 3 weeks, but like that's not going to happen every week. And Taylor is injured, so it's not a matter of when the CMC is going to get injured. Taylor is injured.
Yeah, but Taylor will be back. He'll be fine.
Yeah, but you can say the same thing with CMC.
So what? CMC could be traded as well.
Yeah, so it depends on where he goes too. Yeah,
might end up in as heavy of a run team like.
And if he does go, I think it's the Bills they were saying. If he does go to the Bills, you're fucked.
Yeah. See, if he does go to the Bills, I'd probably hang on to him because they won't need to run him as much, and then he'd probably stay healthy.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Bet that snack pack's pretty good.
Ooh.
Want to trade me the rest of it for this banana? You know how badly I can beat you, right?
I love this soundboard just to like move on to the next segment quickly when we start running out of time. This week's trade of the week was seen in League 109. So we had Joe Mixon being traded for Harris of the Patriots and a first-round pick. Joe Mixon for Harris and a first-round pick. Oh, I think I lean Mixon, even with the pick and Harris.
I wouldn't even want Harris there, to be honest. It's first round pick, I think, for Mixon. Yeah, like Harris in the way out. Stevenson's going to take over that backfield eventually. Yeah, I think I'd go Mixon. 100%.
Yeah, like what are you realistically getting there? Like out of Harris, has been in the backfield. Like he's going to be on a new team next year more than likely. You know, and there's so many good running backs there. Is he going to be RB1 on a team? I don't think so.
No. He's been getting injured. He's been getting injured the last 2 years too. So like he's starting to pick up niggly injuries all the time.
Yeah, so like I'd be with Dan here. I'd say Mixon is the way I would go with that. And Mixon gives you a great chance of winning now, especially in Dynasty that we're on about there. That's what you said that was there, Dan. That's 109, was it?
Yeah, so just standard Dynasty, so one quarterback. But yeah, like if you're getting Mixon, who just got a contract last year, was it? And like we don't even know who Harris plays for next year. You get added into a horrible situation.
Yeah.
No. You're clearly you're blowing it up there if you're getting rid of Mixon and you just got one pick. That's if you're blowing it up, just get one pick for Mixon, you fucked up. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Would you prefer to have like Harris? I suppose you could. Yeah, I think I'd prefer to try and get 2 picks and just, and then make my team organically bad as well, so I get a higher pick myself.
Yeah, like you don't want Harris there. I don't know why you'd even want to pick up Harris. You know, like he's injured now as well, so even at this point in time, he has no trade value. So like, what even is he doing inside there? Like you're right. Like you probably do need to take another pick, maybe even 2 more picks to get someone like Mixon there.
Avengers! Assemble.
Being super lazy this week and just moving us on as quickly as I can.
Are we moving on?
Oh, get ready, Jamie. We're moving to the preview section of the show. See,
before we do, we have one more question in the chat.
Should I trade Jalen Hurts and Lockett for Diggs and Dak in 10-man 0.75 redraft? So that's PPR, like the 3/4 a point PPR. Hollywood's just gone to the IR today. My other receivers are Mike Evans, Judy, and Keenan Allen. It is 10-man though, so like you're going to be stacked at every position. I think I do trade Jalen Hurts for Lockett, or Jalen Hurts and Lockett for Diggs though. I'd probably do that without getting Dak back.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like
It's
you've no
10 man
value in Lockett. I don't think you've much value in Lockett at the moment. Like Hurts, obviously, he's good, but like I think you can probably replace him with Dak coming back. Diggs is Diggs. Like, yeah, I think I'd do that.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, I'd take the trade.
And plus, it's 10-man, so the waiver wire probably has okay quarterbacks if you get stuck. Like he has Geno as his backup quarterback anyway, so I'd be perfectly fine. Yeah, go get Diggs. 14-man full PPR. Oops.
Oh. Elliot, it's okay, man. It happens to everyone.
We'll come back.
Sometimes we just get a little excited and these things just happen.
We'll go through the Saints and the Cardinals and then we'll come back.
Oh, do we have to go through the Saints and the Cardinals? I'm going to watch Kingsbury again.
And you know what? Say the Cardinals are one of the worst teams against the tight end position. You know who Jamie's starting this week?
Can we even count the tight end though? Like, does he actually run any tight end routes? It just feels like they're all quarterback keeps.
I might actually flex him this week for the crack.
I would, yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah. Flexen for Hawkinson tight end. Yeah, better not any of the rest of the shit concept.
We were just talking about it. Are we playing Kyler Murray against this defense? Are we doing that?
Yeah, if you drafted, look,
yeah.
if you drafted Kyler, Jamie said it, he's 6th overall still in the overall standings as we go. You're playing him every week until he starts bumming out 3-4 weeks of 10, 12, 15 points a week. You're playing him every week. You know, you're not going to look to trade him right now, not unless you're in a 10-man where it is stacked, as we just talked, a 10-man league. You're keeping hold of Kyler. He's not debatable.
Yep.
Jamie?
Yep, you don't drop him. You can't drop him. I think he's got too much
Do you
upside.
play him?
He has to play. You know, even when he's playing poor, like he's still getting decent points. You know, like he had was it 12 or 13 last week, but he fumbled the ball like 5 times. So, like you take those out, he plays really shit. He has 17 points. You know, like which is still average enough for a quarterback. Like the Saints aren't that good. That's gonna spade here. Like he should be able to mount.
Neither are the Seahawks.
That's true. But like if you have Murray, you're playing Murray.
Alvin Kamara, he's in. The running backs for Arizona, though. We don't really know much more on James Conner yet, do we?
He's
think
kind of
so.
down to be back this week. It was
Do we
a
play
light
him?
rib injury. It depends. As the week goes on, if it turns out he's on a snap count, I probably won't start him, and I do have him in our league, but I probably won't start him if he's on a snap count. If you're struggling for running backs, I can understand you starting him or flexing him or whatever you want to do with him. But I think Eno Benjamin might be a guy I'd actually like to have over him this week. If you were able to pick up the backup, I'd probably stick with Benjamin for now until we know definitely what's happening on Thursday. It's a short week, so I don't know where I'd say if he is back in, he's on a snap count.
DeAndre Hopkins is back for the Cardinals. Is he straight in the lineups?
Yeah.
Has to be, yeah.
Yeah.
We're staying away from Rondell Moore than Chris Olave, Mike Thomas.
Yeah. Look, Mike Thomas. I don't know. Is Mike Thomas back this week? That's an iffy one still, isn't it? He's still listed as questionable in there.
Yeah. Did
Yeah,
Olave play last week?
No, he didn't. Did he? Olave didn't play.
He
did play. He did play. No, he didn't play. No, not in week 6. No.
Okay, well, I think it's kind of just a monitor situation then.
Yeah, if Olave plays, you play him. I don't think you play Thomas even if he plays. He hasn't practiced in a week, so in weeks even. So I don't think he's going to play the full game anyway.
We touched on the tight ends or tight end quarterbacks. Taysom Hill, you're playing him, and then Zach Ertz. You're probably playing Zach Ertz anyway because he's just Mr. Consistent.
Yeah, he is a class player to have. It's guaranteed points every week at the tight end position. Something I have never known. It is so nice not to worry about that position. And I had Hopkinson for 2 years, and I still didn't know consistency.
14-team full PPR. Damian Pierce for Travis Etienne and Chris Olave. I want Damian Pierce.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I too want Damian Pierce.
We're 3 for 3 on that one. Kenny Walker is on the waiver wire in my league. How is Kenny Walker on the waiver wire?
Oh, fuck.
It must be a weird league because he's talking about getting rid of Clyde or Mostert in Miami. I'd be sacrificing Mostert to the gods.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
This has to be 10-team.
It must be smaller. Like it must be one running back.
Yeah. two teams.
Yeah, like this. That if he's there, go and get him. Like he should be number one. Like if he's still there this week, he should be number one pickup this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he shouldn't be there. Is the top and bottom of it. Cleveland at Baltimore. Yeah. It's a divisional game, so it could be fun. But
with such enthusiasm.
I don't know,
Hey.
man. Neither of them excite me this year. The Ravens or the Browns.
Just a bit of hosted advice, Dad. People don't watch us for clinical analysis. I'm hoping they're watching us just because we're having a bit of a laugh. You miserable bastard.
There's nothing funny about the Browns and the Ravens. That's just...
What's funny is
Hold
Lamar
up,
Jackson
Noah.
should run all over him.
That's kind of what you're doing here, really. Like Lamar Jackson, Nick Chubb, Mark Andrews. I don't think you're playing anyone else, yeah? Maybe would you play in Joko? Yeah, probably.
Dream hunting.
No.
There's that enthusiasm we bring to the show.
No. He
Barnes.
is on the bench. What? Hey, do you know that last question we had? Click into the chat and look at the response.
16 teams. Jesus. I want to see the other teams.
Oh, he should definitely get rid of Mostert. I think that's who you're on about. Mostert. Get rid of Mostert.
Yeah. To be honest, I like even if I had to choose between Walker and Clyde, I'd get rid of Clyde either. Like, but I think he is on about Mostert there. It's coming through as Moffat, Little Miss Moffat, but it's obviously all correct.
I think that's what we should call Mustard.
Like, look, Mostert has put in a few solid weeks, but Edwards-Helaire, like he had a rough matchup this week. He played bad the week before, but if he gets back to the level he was playing at, he was much more consistent than what we've ever seen him. And like, I don't know, I think I just hang on to him. There's not a whole lot of other options in that Kansas City team other than Kelsey and what was Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So I just hang on to him for that alone.
Yep.
J.K. Dobbins and Kenyon Drake are just annoying everyone, and then we're going to add Gus Edwards to that mix soon as well. So I don't even know, can you play Dobbins at the minute?
I'm staying away from that.
Yeah.
Like if you picked up Dobbins, you more than likely had other options at the start of the year because he was injured and he went later than what he should have. So I'm now reverting back to who I had before Dobbins. Do you know? I'm not going to rely on him.
Yeah, it's probably not worth your like. It's quickly becoming a mess, and you're not getting what you thought you were getting, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the good run matchup against the Browns, like if there was ever a week to play Dobbins, it's this week because the Browns are like the 30th worst against running backs. But even then, I'm not enticed into it that much.
No, it's too much of a mess. It's like the Ravens, man, are just a fantasy nightmare at the minute. Bar Andrews and Jackson, like the receiving core. What even is that?
Yeah.
The running backs is a terrible situation. Now we all thought that was going to be simplified with Dobbins coming in, but it's so messy.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
bench Amari Cooper, he's away from home.
Tampa at Carolina. Here comes the enthusiasm again, guys! Yay!
Chris McCaffrey's in your team.
Yeah, like this should be a fairly straightforward week for Tom.
Yeah, you play Tom, you play Lenny.
Tom Brady for how many he had this week.
Yeah, Tom Brady, Lenny, and Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Move on. And then CMC on the other side. You're not playing DJ Moore anymore. Fuck off, DJ Moore. Dead to me.
DJ Moore is gone. Yeah, he's out. Like there is one viable player on the Carolina team. It's actually sad. Like
they shouldn't have traded away Robbie Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what we could see with this though? You could see Laviska Shenault. I know he's down on Sleeper, especially. He's down as like their fourth wide receiver. I reckon they're going to look for him a bit more. I reckon he could be a sneaky pickup this week.
You're getting rid of Mostert, Forrest. Get rid of Mostert and get in Walker.
Yeah. And then follow, like, and subscribe, please, Forrest.
Atlanta at Cincinnati. Marcus Mariota had the big week, but I don't think any of us are rolling that dice.
No,
Nope.
not against this defense. They have drastically improved.
I don't even think I'm back in on Drake London yet, even with the. I just don't fancy it. Either of you?
No, I don't
No.
think so.
No,
I-
look,
Great.
this team, like Atlanta, like the running back they drafted, I thought he'd do better. I knew he wasn't going to get a whole lot of touches with Patterson there, but I thought now, like, oh, that Patterson has gone down, that this guy was really going to break out. Doesn't look like it. It's just, you would have thought with the options of London and Pitts in the team, like you would have thought that would have been a more dynamic offense. And then they went off and got Marcus Mariota and just said, no, we're just going to shit all over it. Like, it's like just, you could have got Teddy Bridgewater or Jacoby Brissett, guys who played the last few years and managed games and actually managed to nearly go at 500 like for a season. Instead, you get Mariota. You're somehow 3-3, and you'll probably finish with 3 wins. Like
they don't want to get to 500. So I think that's the top and bottom of it. The other side is quite self-explanatory. The Bengals. It's your Joey B, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins.
You could probably even flex Tyler Boyd.
I was about to say,
I got
could
to
you
ask that,
decide
yeah.
Boyd?
But would you prefer Tyler Boyd in this matchup, or would you prefer Wan'Dale Robinson for the Giants against Jacksonville?
No, I take Tyler Boyd.
Oh, probably Tyler Boyd. Yeah.
Tyler Boyd or Dubes against Washington?
Tyler
Dubes.
Boyd. Hey, you just saying that because you're Green Bay, man. Dubes was shite last week. Rodgers
Yeah,
can't stay
but he's
clean in the
still-
pocket.
Yeah, but he's still getting targets, and like they should definitely, surely beat Washington.
No, they're not going to do it. The backup, who's the backup at Washington? Because Wentz is out. Wentz is gone. And the backup at Washington, Heineke is coming in and kicking Green Bay's ass. That's what's going to happen.
I've one more Boyd question for you. Boyd or Pickens against Miami?
Yeah, no, I go Pickens. I do think Pickens will have a better day against Miami.
No, I go Boyd there. Depends on quarterback.
What?
Oh,
Depends
whether
on quarterback is.
yeah.
For Miami?
No,
for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, well,
why
that
would
was
it
like,
matter
what's-
for why would it matter for Miami? Pickens
I'm-
is there for Miami.
Hey, that's what I was thinking. I was like, what the fuck are you on about? Kenny Pickett is more than likely going to be back in, isn't he?
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
he was-
I don't know what his injury was.
yeah.
Detroit at Dallas. It's kind of hard to know what you'll do with Jared Goff in this game. I personally wouldn't be playing him, but you might be stuck.
Yeah. Look, it's a high flying offense that's going to have its best weapon back in Amon Ra, and he's
Jared
had a bye
Goff?
week. He should be fit. I don't know, like it's probably a week to wait for me. I would wait on this week.
Jared Goff against Dallas or Danny Dimes against Jacksonville?
Jared Goff against
Right,
Dallas.
Jared
'cause
Goff, yeah.
Danny Dimes is ass.
Was he bad last week?
He was still fantasy bad, yeah.
You're still fantasy bad. Really bad and fantasy bad.
He got the wrong sword and shield.
He got 16 and a half. Smith, so Forrest has Swift, Mitchell, Clyde, and Mostert.
I love how
Mustard.
I love how he's different every time he takes him in.
We've all said we would get rid of Mostert instead of Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We would dump Mostert and get Walker. Keep Edwards-Helaire. Right? I think we've cleared that time.
DeAndre Swift, is he fit? Is he ready to go? What do we think? He was always supposed to be coming back after the bye, so keep your eye on the practice reports, and if he is fit, he's going straight back into your lineup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
tough game to come
Yeah.
back in. That's the only
Yeah.
thing. Dallas's D has been very good.
Has Zeke returned, Shane? You would have paid more attention to this game than we did this week.
Yeah, I think Zeke looked good, man. But like, it's easy to look that good as a running back when your team is 2 scores down after the first quarter. Like, you know, he was given the room to run. Now, the only thing is, coming into this week, Detroit's defense are terrible. So I will be starting Zeke in any league that I have him in. You know, Tony Pollard too. I'd be flexing Tony Pollard if you have him. I probably actually even go as far as to say you could probably play CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup, because if Dak is back, Dak loves Michael Gallup, and I can tell you now, Michael Gallup will have a touchdown this weekend if Dak starts.
Jamie, the receiving options for Detroit, you'd be putting Amon-Ra, and you're not messing around with any of the DJ Charks, the Josh Reynolds, no?
I don't think you are now. If St. Brown's back, you play St. Brown. Other than that, I don't think you're going anywhere else.
What about your Hawkins?
And Hawkinson, if you have him, goes in. In the flex.
In the flex, not even the tight end.
Well, I have him and Tyson Hill, so the both of them going in this week. Beat Stan with 2 tight ends. How embarrassing is that going to be?
Are you actually going to play 2 tight ends against me?
No,
that would be so fun.
No, because then someone think I'm trying to tank my league. Which I probably won't, but yeah, no.
I guarantee Hawkinson will go off for 40 points and he'll be on your bench because you put Taysom Hill in for 4.
100%, yeah, that's definitely going to happen. Bookmark this, because that's definitely going to happen.
So what'll happen is the game will be over after Thursday night, because he'll have Taysom Hill started, and Taysom Hill will burn his Cardinals to make it even worse. he'll suffer twice as bad. Taysom Hill going off for 40 points against the Cardinals.
Here, Taysom Hill went off for 45 points and Cliff Kingsbury got fired. I would take it. I would take the fantasy loss, take the real loss. If I could get rid of Kingsbury, it would all be worth it in the end. The Giants at Jacksonville. The Giants are 5-1, Shane. The top of your division. Oh no, the Eagles are top of your division, aren't they?
5-1.
Yeah.
Like, how is it actually possible that that team is 5-1? It makes no sense.
It kind of does a bit if you factor in Joe Judge.
Or you just factor in Tennessee, when they played in week 1, Tennessee were ass. Carolina, when they played them, Carolina are ass. Who did they lose to? The Dallas Cowboys. Actually seem like they're playing decent there. With a backup, they managed to win 4 games. Then they played Chicago. Guess what Chicago are? They're ass. And then they played Green Bay. Guess what Green Bay look, Levy? They're ass. Just in case you were wondering. And then they actually played a decent team in Baltimore. I will give Baltimore the fact that I do think Baltimore are okay, but Baltimore's receivers, they're not that good, like. And the running back situation is fucked, as we talked about. So I don't know. Jacksonville next week, I'm a bit more interested in this game. I think this will give us a little bit more of a realistic view, but Jacksonville aren't that good either, like their schedule has been so easy, and then they play the Seahawks. Like, Geno's been on fire, but realistically, are we thinking the Seahawks are going to be playoff contenders? Like,
it's difficult to know.
Just look at New York's schedule. They don't play another decent team until you get to week 12 against Dallas. Then they play Philadelphia in week 14. Then it gets hard for maybe Minnesota, but then they play Indy and Philly. Their schedule is so easy that they could easily lose 3 more games all year. And that might be all they lose.
That'd be insane.
We kind of got off topic there.
It's nuts though. Like, how? Like, I don't understand how the league goes about doing that. And like, how did the Giants just get such an easy schedule?
Well, your schedule must be fairly similar though, because you play the same divisions.
I have no idea.
Yeah. He doesn't know when it's Cowboys. That's it.
Hang
yeah.
on.
You'll obviously play your division, everyone in your division twice, and then you play the same divisions, if you know what I mean. So you should have basically the same schedule as the Giants.
Yeah, okay, right. No, yeah, okay, yeah, we do. We have a lot of bar we had to play the Rams. They didn't have to play the Rams.
Yeah.
And we had to play the
Anyway.
Bengals and we had to play Tampa Bay. Like
We can't get distracted here by the NFC East podcast.
Yeah, that's
It's not even the NFC East podcast, it's the NFC East scheduling podcast. Trevor Lawrence against the Giants. Are we playing him against that defense? It has been a good defense against the quarterback.
I
I
think
think,
yeah.
yeah, I think he's played well enough that I throw him in and trust him.
The running backs for Jacksonville. Are we out on the running backs now? Have we decided they're both sitting until we see something?
I would say so, yeah. At this point,
I think I would still chance Robinson, I would say. I just
Robinson
I
the
like
last 3 weeks 1.9, 4.96.
yeah, I don't know what it is about Robinson. I like Robinson. I think I don't know.
I don't know. Etienne looks like he's getting more involved the last few weeks as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think eventually Etienne's going to take over there. So he's probably your man that you want if you have any of the two of them. But I don't think you're playing him. I think you're sitting him.
Running backs are just getting so hard with these committees the way they're going. Like it's becoming such a pain. Like even Hasty there had a good, like, what did he have? 11 or 12 points this week.
He had a good game actually. Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Saquon is a little workhorse, so he's auto every week.
Yeah,
no question there. Christian Kirk has cooled. What do we think? Are we going? I think you probably can flex him, but it's been 7-1, 7. Like the last 3 weeks have been very poor for him. So, would you be playing him or would you be playing Alec Pierce against Tennessee?
I'd play Kirk.
Yeah, I'd stick to my guns with Kirk.
He's still a wide receiver one there, and if we expect Lawrence to play well, he's going to have to connect with Kirk. That's going to be his guy.
Would you play Kirk or would you play my boy Brandon Cooks against Vegas?
Brandon Cooks.
Oh, Kirk.
Would you play Kirk or would you play Darnell Mooney against the Patriots? I don't want playing Darnell Mooney.
What kind of a question is that?
What is that like?
It's like that scene in The Simpsons where it's like, you can have this boat or the mystery box. There could be a boat there. Oh. And then tight end wise, there's like Evan Ingram could be a shout. Bellinger.
Yeah, I think Bellinger's a bit of a shout now if you're stuck for a tight end.
Could I interest you in Evan Ingram?
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
Yeah.
Ingram's been playing well the last few weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks, decent scoring for a tight end.
That's all we're looking for. A tight end is just decent scoring.
Yeah.
Average.
Look, we've said it enough times. Unless you have Kelsey or Andrews, like you're not looking for 20-point weeks from your tight end. Like it's rare and lucky when it happens. Like, so I'll take 6-9 points.
Who would you prefer to play, Evan Ingram or Bob Tonyan versus Washington?
Evan Ingram.
Ingram, yeah.
That's fair enough. That one was easy enough.
Yeah.
That'll transition us into Indianapolis at Tennessee. Matt Ryan versus Ryan Tannehill. Like that's neither of those are cracking your fantasy lineup, even with Matt Ryan's big game last week. I assume we're all on the same page there.
Oh yeah.
Then hopefully Jonathan Taylor's back, so this isn't a discussion then in the backfield for the Colts. You just auto start him and Henry, and we move on from throwing backs.
Yep.
Then Jamie, Michael Pittman now.
He's back, baby. He is back.
He's back. He's in your lineup, is he?
Yeah, well, like if you have him, he's in your lineup anyway. You have to back the talent, and he is the talent, and he is the guy that Ryan's going to connect with. If he's going to connect with, even last week he didn't have any touchdowns. He still nearly scored 20 points. Like if Matt Ryan can play like an average fucking quarterback, Pittman's in your lineup.
So then the question really then is Alec Pierce essentially. Is Alex Pierce going to get into your lineup ahead of players like Ayuk this week against Kansas City?
No, I don't think so.
Not with Jimmy G playing. Jimmy G really likes Brandon Ayuk. He's like Debo's numbers go down when Jimmy G is there for the simple fact that he does like targeting Brandon Ayuk so much.
How about Alec Pierce over someone like Jacoby Myers against Chicago?
That depends on the quarterback situation. Then again, like if Zappy is starting for me, well,
let's say it's Zappy then. Give it a bit of interest.
Then I will probably take Myers.
Yeah, probably would. Yeah, if Zappy's playing.
And then let's say if it was Mac Jones,
then I'd probably swing the other way.
Yeah, it's a difficult enough one to go for there. But there's not really much else to say then on the indie side, like because you're not playing Mo Ali Cox, you're not going to that well. I don't even think you're going to go Austin Hooper then on the other side. I think we've mentioned better at tight ends than Robert Woods. I could never bring myself to put Robert Woods in my lineup.
No, but I think he's worth the bench if you have him. I think he's worth kind of keep there. I think Tannehill has enough in him at some weeks to at least get you some decent points there. But yeah, I don't think you're starting him now.
Yeah, like I picked up Robert Woods in our league, and he's there for the simple fact that when I have a bye week, I'm praying to God he's going to be the guy who can get me 10, 15 points that week. He's shown they have that in them, and he is their only receiver that they're going to start hitting now with Burks gone. So he's definitely a good roster position to have.
Green Bay at Washington. The main question here is, can we play anyone on the Green Bay side?
Alan Lazar.
Yeah.
You can play Alan Lazar. He has been solid for what, 2-3 weeks now?
Yeah, always over 10 points.
Yeah, so like Alan Lazar, I think for me, he's wide receiver, low end wide receiver 1 material.
Yeah, I think so. You're definitely still playing Jones, like. I don't think you're dropping Jones. Yeah, I think so.
I think the fact he was just such a high draft pick, I think that's why Jamie's kind of saying you're definitely sticking with him. Am I right?
Well, yes and no, but like he's Aaron Jones. Like he still has the talent. He's still a very good running back. I know the whole thing with Dylan is fucking disastrous, and the Green Bay running game is just an absolute shambles at the moment. But Aaron Jones is that kind of man who can just break a line in 2 seconds, and next thing you're in a great week. You're never dropping Aaron Jones. You're not benching him. That's just not going to happen. Like.
Dylan very much has made his way to the bench, so I don't think anyone's still playing Dylan. What about Dubes?
I think Dubes is a sit and wait.
If you need a player.
Yeah, I would. He's been so close to having good weeks. But I think just Shane said earlier with the O-line there, and Rodgers just not getting time in the pocket. Like he's not going to get points until that's fixed.
And then Robert Tonyan, are you chasing the big week, or is it just kind of if you can get different options, are you putting them in?
Yeah, I think you have better options than Tonyan there. I think we've mentioned a lot better tight ends there that you could pick up this week.
And then the other side,
had a big week last week, but I'm not following that. Like
on the other side, Taylor Heineke is in, so we're probably are all the wide receivers for Washington gone to the bench with Heineke, and then it's just Brian Robinson left?
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I just have the funniest feeling, like someone like Scary Terry, who's been so bad all year. Heineke's going to come in and Terry's going to go off. If I have Terry McLaurin this week, I think I'm playing him and thinking he is definitely the best receiver they have. He's the most talented guy. And Jamie said it with Pittman back in the talent. I think if I drafted him, I'm starting him and I'm saying Heineke's going to find him a few times. He's going to get him the ball because he knows there's going to be times where he's open.
You're going for the home run hitter.
Yeah, I am. If I have McLaurin, I'm starting McLaurin.
Jamie?
I see where he's going, but I don't think you are. I would kind of stay away from it this week. I can agree with you. I think the only one you're playing there this week is Robinson. I think other than that, I think you probably stay away from the rest of them.
The New York Jets at Denver. The battle of the Wilson. Zach Wilson versus Russ Wilson. Like, is anyone still on the Russ Wilson train, or is anyone still playing him in fantasy?
No. Surely not.
No, but apparently he's going for an MRI today, wouldn't he? Wilson.
Oh yeah,
so,
shoulder.
He might not play.
Might be the best thing for anyone who has wide receivers and running backs for
Yeah.
Denver.
Yeah.
Like Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, they're just kind of always starts in your lineup, but you're not really thrilled about either of them.
No. I think now on the Jets side, there's actually a couple of guys you probably can play. So, like, you're obviously going to play Brees Hall.
Yeah.
Probably play Wilson this matchup, I'd say, would you? Or would you burn
No.
too many times?
No. Yeah, he's like I said earlier, he's a potential cut for me if I need a roster spot.
Yeah. What about Michael Carter? Will you play Michael Carter?
No, I'm not. I'm not playing Michael Carter.
So I heard you're mad to trade for Michael Carter in our league, Jamie.
Yeah, I was trying to get rid of Bateman from. Tried 5 times.
Like,
Yeah.
for
Brees
as
Hall.
well as the Jets have played, like, it's all been on the guy you just mentioned. That, like, it's all Brees Hall. Like,
Yeah. The Jets feel like the biggest frauds to me at 4-2. Like, Sauce Gardner is playing out of his mind. The defense is great, but there is such a ceiling on the team purely because of Zach Wilson. And to be honest, like, I feel so happy for Jets fans that they're getting a frisky team, and it's enjoyable for them to watch because that's a fan base that's had it hard. Like, they deserve to have a bit of fun, but ultimately, I just don't believe in Zach Wilson.
No.
Yeah,
No, and I wouldn't mind if the Jets had have tanked out this year again. Like, there's 1 or 2 good quarterbacks coming out the draft next year that would have been very good to get. Like, they've now gone, like, if with 4 wins, they're not getting the top pick. Like, they might be 5th or 6th if they don't win another game, but they're not getting the number 1 pick anymore. Like, so
Had the number 2 and they got Zach Wilson out of it, so I don't know if it makes much difference.
Well, they're probably going to win here. So, like, they're definitely going to win a couple more games.
Yeah, yeah. Like, they'd be 5-2 after this weekend. I would say.
Like, they're a
playoff team.
They're a decent side. To be fair to them, like.
Jamie, you have Melvin Gordon on one of your rosters. Is he gone to your bench after the fiasco of last week?
Not my bench, because I need him and I don't have another running
But no option matter.
I have no option. But for all you guys who do have options, 100% drop him to the bench. He's not worth it. Like, that running back situation there is a bit of a joke. They don't know who their running back one is there. I would just, if you have the option, sit him on the bench for a while.
And then Conklin at tight end. I think we've mentioned better tight ends throughout the show that you could probably go and find, like Evan Ingram. But like, you could play Conklin if your like back is to the wall. But like, I know Higbee is on bye this week, so some people might be looking down the barrel of that.
Yeah, Conklin had a good first few weeks, and he kind of tanked the last 2 or 3. So yeah, the community tie-in, I'd say it's probably better out there, but not a bad pickup either.
Houston at Vegas. Davis Mills and Derek Carr, neither of those are breaking your fantasy lineups. So there's not really much of a question there. Pierce is locked in as your RB2, maybe even RB1 at this stage. And Josh Jacobs is having a career year. So they're both straight in, I would imagine, into every roster going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brandon Cooks.
No.
Is he in your lineup?
No.
Depends on what kind of a week you're having. Like, is it if you're out
projected
of
to win?
player?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you've a few guys on bye weeks or whatever, like yeah, bring them in. Other than that, I don't think I'd be playing him. Well, I personally wouldn't be if he was in my roster because I have better players.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame either, and I don't have better players. I don't think you want that situation. To be honest, no, I wouldn't.
I have him in my flex this week.
Yeah, I know you love him. Like you have a weird thing for Brandon Cooks.
Well, I'm playing him over Garrett Wilson and George Pickens, so it's not as if it's like he's beating out massive players. Oh, AJ Dillon as well, but AJ Dillon's dead to me. A lot of people died to me this week.
Fair enough.
There's no one really else on the Texan side you're playing. Then that's kind of just like after Brandon Cook and Pierce, there's not really much else to say there. And then on the Vegas side, Devontae Adams is straight in, but like, is there any other players you'd be looking at Vegas and kind of throwing your eye at? Would you think about Renfro in this game?
You could probably flex Renfro, I suppose, if you needed a man.
Or would you flex Renfro over Brandon Cooks?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
I would.
Darren Waller was out with a hamstring last week, so we'll see what happens there. But like, Waller is sucked.
Yeah, I'd like Waller's one of them guys that he's such a big name that if you drop him, someone's going to pick him up, and that's your fear. Then he has the big games, but like, well, after this week, if Waller isn't good, I don't think I'd be afraid of dropping him anymore. I think I would just join that tight end carousel that we all love.
I'd be so afraid of dropping him. Like he was a 4th round pick. I didn't take him anywhere, but geez, like if I put a 4th rounder in, it's so emotionally it's hard to do that to yourself.
Well, like you can't trade him. You're not going to get anything for him. He's taking up space in your team because you're definitely starting him every week. So, like, what are you going to take up a bench spot with a tight end who you're probably not going to use? Like, what are you going to do? You going to hold him and pray to God he has 2 big weeks and that you can trade him after it?
You might get something for name value. Like,
I don't think you will at this point.
So, like, if you send Darren Waller to me, I'd be like, "Ooh, maybe." So,
yeah, but you suck at the minutes. You would be like, "Oh yeah,
ooh, fair." That's not like a character.
It'd be great if you could go back to like the first year you played fantasy. And remember, with that year, you like because you had like no name association to most of the players, and you didn't know their reputations and know they were good for years previous. You were so cutthroat with people because they like now if someone said to you, "Oh, I might cut Darren Waller," you'd be like, "What? You can't do that." But like if you've never played before and it's just a name on a piece of paper, that guy would be cut so fast.
Yeah. He would be God right now.
It's very true. As my knowledge of fantasy football has gone up, my stats have gone down.
Oh, Seattle at the Chargers.
Before we move on, boys, we have another question in the chat.
Eckler, Saquon, Kamara. Don't ask how. Wide receivers are Mike Evans, Lockett, Olave, Deontay Johnson. Trying to get elite wide receiver to balance my squad. Who could you package there? I think you need to use Mike Evans and possibly try and like you might be able to put Evans with Lockett, sell Lockett's great performances recently, and upgrade Evans.
Yeah,
Oof.
I don't know. You hold on to Evans. Would
But if
you
if
be
you could
afraid
turn
of?
Evans and Lockett into say you could go and target Debo. Say you could take Mike Evans and Lockett and go and target Debo. Would you do that?
Uh,
No.
I still don't think you're kind of fixing the problem.
Yeah,
I
no.
think if you get rid of Mike Evans, I don't think you're fixing the problem. Like, could you get
Yeah,
rid of Kamara
that's
and trade?
that's the route I would go. I would try
Yeah,
package Kamara with Deontay Johnson and try move for a Tariq Hill or a Jamar Chase maybe, or a Devontae Adams who's been underperforming this year.
Is that sexy enough though, Kamara? And like Deontay Johnson is a great player to have in your team, but he just has no like.
I think you get the upside with Kamara enough that you might be able to trade for one of those guys. So you're talking about
Yeah.
a lot of fantasy players love running backs. You know, like if you were sitting that to Shane, he'd give you anything for a running back. You know?
Honestly, yeah. If I had,
Yeah.
honest to God, now if I had Devontae Adams in my side and you sent me Kamara and Deontay Johnson, I would go back and look at your team and say I will take Kamara, and then probably end up looking for Olave off you or Lockett. I would probably swap out the Deontay Johnson one, but that's just because I would scope your team and try to get as much off you as possible. But if you could find someone who has, like, I don't think I'd do it for Debo, not with Jimmy G there. Debo wouldn't be my upgrade. I think the lowest down I would go would be wide receiver 8 if I'm trading Kamara, and that is Devontae Adams.
This is an interesting question just for my own head. Would you trade Saquon for Jamar Chase straight up?
No. Saquon is
No.
playing too good right now, and I
Yeah.
hate saying that.
I think if you're doing that, you probably get something else with Chase.
So we're going to agree then on the Adams part of it. Take Kamara and Deontay and see can you.
What
I might even start Kamara and Olave and go that way.
Well, I would even to start out, I would even maybe just go Kamara straight up for Adams and see what they come back with.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go overly doing it straight off. Like running backs are high commodities. Like,
well, push with the skies first. Go Kamara for like Hill or Chase first. And if that doesn't work, go down and take Adams.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Don't go straight for Adams. I would start with like say Hill or Chase. Hill or Chase.
Yeah, like if I think Chase more so than Hill just for the consistency of quarterback.
I don't think you're getting it done. I don't think you're getting Kamara done. I like Chase is probably one of the hardest assets to acquire in fantasy football.
Maybe not, but go for it. Fuck it. Someone might give it.
Yeah, like like running backs are so scarce. You have 3 really good ones there. Like Kamara is good running back in my opinion. I really like him. Saquon has high value at the minute. The fact that he's the RB3 and he's played really well. So, like if you were to trade Saquon, you could probably go out and whoever has Devontae Adams in your league, you could probably get Devontae and a low end running back for Saquon. Yeah, I think his value is higher than Devontae's at the minute.
If I'm trading Saquon, I want to go 1-for-1 and I want to get the best receiver possible. I don't want to mess around and go and get 2 players for Saquon because at the end of the day, you've just clogged your roster a little bit there because Saquon can get you as many points in 1 roster spot that those 2 players can probably get you in 2 roster spots.
Yeah, fair as well, yeah. Like what is Kamara on the season?
Not great. He started slow. He started very slow. He had a big week a couple of weeks ago. You can pull it up there.
It's so hard to tell.
35.
He's the running back 35 on the season.
Yeah.
He has been playing better though. He had 19 points 2 weeks ago and 15 points this week. So you sell a narrative that he's back essentially.
Yeah.
It is an interesting discussion though, because like Kamara has such name value there as well.
He's been better since Jameis Winston has been out.
Yeah, and they are talking about they're actually questioning which which quarterback will be starting there now this week.
Yeah, like yeah, for me, I think the Devontae Adams trade makes the most sense. If you can get Kamara for Adams, and if not straight up, then I throw in Deontay Johnson. I don't think I get rid of Olave. I know he's out and he's had an injury, but I think I'd rather have Olave than Lockett. I think I'd rather trade Lockett away than Olave. Like,
Yeah.
If push came to shove and I had to move through my roster, like,
I'd prefer to have Lockett over Olave. Lockett's playing really well. Like I know
he is, but it's just Olave has had them flash plays that's made me go, I really like you. And sometimes I like to play like an idiot. So
No, I'd agree with you. Yeah, I think I'd rather have it. Yeah.
Because I don't know. I get like Lockett has a good week, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. But Olave has a good week. I'm like, you did so good. I'm like,
He's a good
guy.
boy.
Yeah,
He's a good Olave.
yeah.
if Olave is able to play this week, he cleared the protocol. So if he is able to play against Arizona, you might not be able to buy Olave afterwards. His value might go absolutely through the roof.
Yeah. Sadly.
What game were we on, boys? We'd moved. We were on the Seattle Chargers game.
Yes.
We can fly through this pretty quickly. It's Kenny Walker on the Seattle side.
Yes.
Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf for your questions. DK's probably made himself an auto start, but has Tyler Lockett made himself an auto start?
Yeah, I don't
DK
think so.
was awful last week, though.
Yeah.
The two of them were awful.
Two of them were like, yeah.
Two of them were very bad.
That game was generally awful though for fantasy players. The only person who was kind of productive was Kenny Walker.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Yeah, you start Kenny Walker from now on. He's just a fantastic player. Lockett and Metcalf, you have him. You'll probably run the dice at least, put him in a flex. But I wouldn't want to even think about doing that, to be honest. I'd nearly trade away those boys if I can at this point. The Chargers side, then you're probably playing most of them. You're going to play Herbert, you're going to play Eckler, you're going to play Williams. Is Allen back? Is he back this week? Maybe.
I don't know what the story is with Allen.
Yeah, he thinks he's kind of gone. But then I suppose Palmer then becomes a flex option again, I presume. But
no,
again,
I done it once with Palmer. I'm not doing it again. I did
it once too.
Yeah, he burnt me the minute I put him in. I'm not doing it again.
Do you trade Cooper Kupp for Ertz, Sutton, and Olave? The tight end he currently has is Schultz.
Yeah, I'd do that.
No, I'm keeping Cooper Kupp.
Why did you trade Cooper Kupp?
I don't know. Look,
it's the Olave love.
It's not. It's Ertz. Ertz is so consistent at tight end. It shores up tight end for me. Olave is like, if Olave is fit and he's back, he's 12, 15 points maybe a week from what we've seen. And Sutton then is just a shot in the dark. Like, Sutton can be 20 points or it could be nothing. But like, you're getting three good options for Kupp, he's getting force fed the ball, but the first week he didn't get force fed the ball. He had 15 points this week. Like, I don't know. That's a harder one for me than what I think it should be.
He's the number 2 receiver in the year, like.
Yeah, I'm not trading him away for anything.
He's the only receiver that the Rams really have at the moment.
If it was Ertz, Olave, and say a running back of average quality, maybe a name, like if they threw in who have we gone through already? Like if they threw in Melvin Gordon in it.
Don't say that.
No.
Maybe cry.
Right. Can I trade Melvin Gordon for something like that?
Like, you know what I'm getting at there? Like if they threw in,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like would you do it then? Like if it
No,
was
I
if
think
it
if
wasn't two
you-
receivers.
I think by Cooper Cup, I'm keeping Cooper Cup. I'm not even go for anything really.
Well, no, if you had Cooper Cup and someone offered you 3 players of 3 different positions in the situation you're in right now, you definitely cash in.
I wouldn't want to
I don't know.
dilute Cooper Cup into 3 players because it's the same argument where
Well, hang on a minute. Look at what he has just replied. What he could ask for.
Oh, this. Okay, that makes it a little bit more interesting. To be fair,
let's go back. If we take out Sutton's name and put in Brees Hall, you then get Ertz, Brees Hall, and Olave.
I'm making that trade. If it's Brees Hall instead of Sutton, I am making that trade.
it's closer, but I still think I'm keeping Cup.
Nah, no shot for me. That's if you're giving me consistency at tight end, high consistency at running back, and consistency at wide receiver again. It's not as high a level as Cup, but I'm still getting better at running back, better at tight end, and I've still got a decent option at wide receiver. I'm taking the trade.
If I can get Hall involved in the trade, I probably would take it. But try and switch. Like, I personally would switch out Olave for Hall, and then I'd do the trade. If I could get Ertz, Sutton, and Hall, I'd do it. But that's your like preference. I like Sutton. Like Sutton's very consistent. He tends to get you 10 to 12 points every week. Olave's pretty much doing the same thing at the minute, but it's just I just feel a bit more comfortable with Sutton for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I
But-
don't know why either. In that Denver offense at the minute.
Yeah, but he still gets you 10 or 12 points every week. Like if you pull up Sutton's, like I think he only got just 7 points this week or something. But like his floor is just so good. Who did Denver play this week? Can't even find the matchup now. Are they? Oh, the New York
the one
Jets.
on last night. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Cortland Sutton has been so 9, 16, 13, 13, 9, 2. So yeah, like this week was bad, but every other week you're getting between 9 and 16 points. Like it's just like it's the same thing as Zach Ertz. It's just you plug him in your wide receiver too, and he doesn't kill you, like you know.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, look, I get what you're saying. Would have, I'd still rather have the upside that Olave brings.
Hurts is on bye. Should I pick up Mariota versus Cincinnati or Daniel Jones versus Jacksonville? I'm
Ouch.
going Daniel Jones there.
Oh no. Oh god, I don't know. That's not a decision I want to be making.
Yeah, we'll look at the defenses. So against the quarterback, let's see what Cincinnati are first. Bengals are the 5th best team against the quarterback, and Jacksonville are the 16th. So Daniel Jones to me is the better quarterback between the two anyway, and he's playing against Jacksonville, who are the easier defense. Like if you get like it's basically which way do I want to kill myself, but I'm probably going to pick Daniel Jones against the Jaguars.
Surely Geno Smith is still on the waiver somewhere. Like if Geno Smith is there, I'd probably pick up Geno.
He's not in our league.
No, he's not in our league, but that's because we have people who really badly suck.
Yeah, I probably go Mariota. I think.
Yeah.
You're going Mariota. You both go
So is
Mariota.
Gitz.
So
Gitz is going Mariota too.
Scott Gitz.
No,
Geno's
Geno.
rostered, he says.
Yeah, no, I'd personally be going with Danny Dimes, but you boys are saying Mariota, so someone can brag next week. CD for Swift.
Yeah.
Dallas.
Yeah.
When's Dallas's bye week? Is it next week?
It's week 9, I think, is it?
Week
2
9.
weeks.
The Lions are past their bye, aren't they?
Yeah, week
Lions had
9.
a bye last week.
Yeah.
You're getting a week there.
Yeah, you are, yeah.
It's very interesting. It probably depends on your roster. I think I would make that trade though if I could get Swift.
Yeah,
Probably seen
yeah, I
Swift
think
in
I
so
would.
long.
Yeah, no, I would take Swift. Definitely would.
Cool. I can't even remember what game we were on now.
We were on Seattle, and the Chargers basically said start all the wide receivers, start Kenny Walker and Eckler, and
And
yeah.
we move on to the Chiefs.
Yeah. Their livers.
Chiefs at 49ers. It's kind of the normal game we play with Kansas City here, where Mahomes is straight in. It's the running backs now. We're going to play it again. We play it every week. Will you play Clyde Edwards-Helaire in this game? Like the 49ers defense, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, are we rolling that dice if we have to?
Yeah, I think you do. Like, I wouldn't. Like, they were playing the Bills last week. The Bills are good on defense anyway. So I wouldn't really judge him on that week. But like, he's been good, consistent for most of the year. So I think if you have him, you're probably going to play him.
As Forrest did ask us earlier, you would play Clyde Edwards-Helaire over Mostert this week, so that's straight up there.
I think you would over most weeks, anyway.
Yeah. Jeff Wilson's into your team, I would imagine. He's your RB2 at this stage.
Yep.
Yeah.
He has been very, very good.
Except for last week.
Yeah. That's fair. But the 49ers didn't play great.
Yeah, they did. Fairness. They had a weird week.
Yeah.
MVS, like, you can't play MVS anymore. That's just a done thing now, surely. Like, 0 points this week.
Well, he is gone off the roster this week.
Yeah, he's two touchdown dependent. No.
Juju might be coming, like, we might be seeing something happening where Juju could become a viable option now, I imagine. But I could say this now, and he could easily score 3 points again this week.
Yeah, he's again for me. I think he's a wait and see player, isn't he? Like, if you have him and you want to risk him, by all means, stick him in a flex. But I wouldn't be shooting on any Kansas City guys at the minute, unless
the
it's
interesting
Kelce.
question would be, Kelce. The interesting question would be in this game: Juju versus Brandon Ayuk. Which would you prefer to play?
I would take Brandon Ayuk, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I am ready to be burnt again.
Debo's the auto start at the wide receiver position, and then the two tight ends, like Shane said, like Kelsey's always in, and Kittle, you probably have to play him as well. Like,
you paid for him, you're playing him.
Well, he had
last week anyway.
Yeah, he had a Kittle game last week, like, so maybe he's come back.
He'll have a Kettle game next week, though.
That's perfect.
We got hit up with a few more questions there again, guys.
If I tell you my team, can you tell me trades to look for? Yeah, cool. Shoot on your team.
He's 1 in 5. I'm 1 in 5. We're like brothers, kids.
Dak, Saquon, Kenny Walker, Kupp, Diggs, Godwin, Schultz, Jacoby Myers. The bench is Bateman, Drake London, Dotson, McKissick, White, Zach Wilson. Well, Zach Wilson's a cut. Conklin, and Nico Hollins.
Yeah.
So running back's good. You're okay there.
Yeah.
Are you 1 in 5 with this team, man?
Yeah, it's quite good. Like,
yeah, Kupp and Diggs.
I could show you my 1 in 5 team. Like,
it's 12 man, 0.75 PPR as well.
Yeah,
I don't know. Do you need to make any moves there?
Yeah, is it Dynasty or is it redraft?
I assume it's redraft.
Yeah, because if it's redraft, you could probably still sell London on his early form. I would see if I could upgrade there and get
Bateman and London together and try and find like an actual consistent wide receiver.
Yeah.
Well, you have Kupp and Diggs in there already. Like, I would have said package the two of them and try get a third running back. Someone who'd be a little bit more consistent at running back.
Yeah, Saquon and Kenny Walker though. Kenny Walker, I know it's only like we've only got 1 week of it so far, but
yeah, he looks good. But I suppose you're kind of looking at running back for the flex, I suppose, Shane, as well.
And yeah, like that's what I'm. Well, even at that, I'm looking more as a running back on the bench. Even like if that happened to Saquon or Kenny Walker doesn't keep up this level of performance, like you're going to want an option at running back.
Yeah.
You're going to want someone to go to there. So my instinct is to trade for a running back, even if he's only going to sit in your bench for the time being. I would be happy enough to stick with Cup, Diggs, and Godwin, even rotate Godwin out for. Well, no, actually, I wouldn't. If I'm trading away London and Bateman, I wouldn't be rotating them anywhere. I'd be moving on Schultz. He'd probably get cut for me. See if there's a better tight end out there. Myers, I happily stick with Myers for the minute as long as Zappi's playing.
You know what you could do, and this is like me, like I don't know why I'm even saying this. You could easily go and trade London, and you could probably get it done with London and Bateman, or probably get it done with Bateman on his own. To be honest, go get AJ Dillon because it can't get any worse, and at least you'd have the running back sitting on your bench that you can put in a tight situation.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be against that.
Yeah, you could definitely get him for just Bateman. I don't think you'd have to give up 2 for Dillon.
Yeah, it's been so bad at this stage that the Dillon owner probably wants him off the roster anyway. Like,
Yeah.
there was another question in here in the middle of all that. Sorry.
No, that's the.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's it.
Swift.
He Mark
Yeah,
asked should he trade CD for Swift, and that it's for his flex. His running
Yeah.
backs already are JT Mixon and Brees Hall.
In that situation, I might rethink that and actually not.
Yeah.
It's for the flex, CD or Swift in your flex. You probably do the trade purely because you're buying yourself an extra week. You don't have to lose CD for the bye week then. Like,
Yeah, I think that's where it makes the most sense for me as well, is if you're getting a week out of it.
Pittsburgh at Miami. Kenny Pickett, Tua should be back for this game as well. So this could actually be an interesting game if Kenny Pickett is back in it. But he got a concussion, so he's not going to play this week. It's going to be Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, if Pickett's there, I think a lot of these lads become options. Pickens, Johnson, maybe even Claypool. I think they all become options if you have Pickett because he does seem. Yeah, go on.
I think I'd look at Claypool if Mitch is playing, but I wouldn't otherwise because he seemed to fancy Claypool when he came in last week, but that could be just an apparition, you know.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was reading here. Apparently, he might be made available for a trade. So
Claypool,
yeah, so,
Cardinals round pick.
So basically,
Hey, I take Claypool at Dallas right now, man. They could use another wide receiver at Dallas.
Najee's into your team anyway because like if you paid the first round pick, you don't have an option. He has to go in. Raheem Mostert, we going back to that?
I don't know. To be honest,
this is a bad defense in the Steelers.
I think you are. I think you still play him, but I think you're a bit aware you're playing him.
Yeah,
because he just hasn't been as good as that time 2 or 3 weeks ago when you're like he's a must start. I don't think he's a must start anymore. You could very easily bench him, and I don't think anybody would say anything bad against you. Like
nobody would be too worried about it. Like
no.
Yeah. Either way, he's if you have him, no problem playing him. If you don't play him, I'm not against it either.
The 2 wide receivers from Miami are straight in.
Yeah. 2 hot commodities there.
Jamie, you kind of ran us through the Pittsburgh wide receivers, and I'd agree with what you said pretty much. Like I'm not looking to play any of these guys even against the weak secondary.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Gesicki and Freiermuth. Gesicki had a big game last week, and Frymouth hasn't really done a whole lot this year. He's been okay, but can I interested in either of you in any of these two players?
No.
Maybe Gasicki if you're looking for a lad, but if Tua is back, he's probably going to go back to his main targets. So I probably not.
And, energy is dwindling. Chicago at New England. If you have the New England DST, start them.
Yeah.
100%.
And if Mac Jones starts, don't start any of your New England wide receivers.
Oh, and Ramondre Stevenson, he's automatically in Montgomery. You're not. It's not a sexy play, but you're playing him anyway.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, but that's it for me. You shouldn't be playing anyone else from Chicago. No one else bar Montgomery, and even at that Montgomery is like a air of desperation playing him. Like that's what it is. Like
it's a last call for questions, guys. Get them in quickly if you want them answered, because we're going to be off in about 5 minutes, I'd say. Because we're going to discuss Hunter Henry, and I can't imagine he's going to keep us talking for very long.
What are we talking about Hunter Henry?
yeah. Why are we talking Hunter Henry?
What?
Hunter Henry's not getting in my team, man. You have one good week.
Yeah, no,
Even with Zappy.
Yeah, but look, to me, at this moment in time in my head, I'm saying Mac Jones is healthy. He's QB1. For me, at this moment in time, I am not suggesting any Patriots wide receivers or tight ends, because I feel Mac Jones is going to get it back. I think it would be brilliant and a Belichick stroke of genius if he just cleared him off and said, nah, we picked you 10th overall, but we're going to go with the Zappy guy.
Zap.
Zup. I suppose on that, then, like, would you pick up Thornton and put him on, and sit him on your bench? Not play him, obviously, but like with the game he had last week.
If you have the spot, maybe, yeah. If you have a free bench spot.
Would you drop Elijah Moore for Thornton?
Yes, I would do that, yeah.
Okay.
We're not just giving fantasy advice to people watching us. We're now giving it to one of the three co-hosts.
I won't bother putting a waiver claim for Thornton then this week, no.
Huh?
I won't bother putting in a waiver claim for Thornton, no.
Well, I'm definitely
Jamie's
number one
number
waiver.
Oh, I think that's going to do it for the night. Thanks for listening, guys. Please like this video and then subscribe on YouTube. Follow us all on Twitter. You can see our handle there very nicely on the stream. And at IF Punts is the show's Twitter. Thanks for listening, guys.
Good night and God bless, guys.
Have a good one.
Mark, I'm going to get it in quickly. No, you're grand. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. No.